During this time of Lent, we always talk about the three big pillars of Lent, being prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. This one of almsgiving, I think, is an important one to wrestle with, because obviously we live in a very wealthy society. Australia is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. It's sometimes said that the greatest affliction of our society is what they call affluenza. You know, we actually become sick because we own so much. We've become so smothered with possessions that we've started to lose the simple things of life, the ability to engage with beauty and love and relationship. And so perhaps this element of almsgiving is the remedy, the vaccine, if you will, to affluenza. Now, once again, we need to engage with this in a bit of a different way. Because in the beginning, when in the Old Testament it was said that almsgiving was a way of asking for forgiveness of sins, what they meant was that giving alms, giving money to people in need, was something which changed your heart. It turned you inside out, where the natural tendency is to want to possess and own and fill our emptiness. Giving things away helped us to actually reconnect with humanity. We were able to now see other people's need and realize that it's actually not all about us. Now, we now find ourselves in a difficult time in history because even though we give money to the poor, we don't necessarily meet the poor. You know, we've got Caritas, St. Vinny's, Salvos, so many different charitable organisations that will do the dirty work for us. We'll actually go and make the connections and sit down with people, and all we have to do is just give our credit card details, and that's it. Somehow we've given alms to the poor. But is that actually the original intention? See, it wasn't just about giving money. It was about rediscovering humanity. It was about actually sitting with those who are in need and seeing the world through their eyes. That caused me to grow in love. That causes me to reassess my own world. It almost burst the bubble of my affluenza, you know, having so much affluence and wealth that I don't know what to do with it. We need to actually connect with people. The other element of this, I suppose, is that question of what are we meant to give? You know, I was thinking the other day, you know, there's that story where Jesus talks about the widow in the temple who puts one small coin in the temple treasury. And Jesus says she's given more than everybody else. Everybody else has given from what they had left over, whereas she's given everything that she owned. And maybe there's a temptation in us to still only give one small coin. You know, we've heard that part where Jesus celebrates her for giving that amount, but we've failed to recognize that actually she gave everything. Now, I think this is just a question to take into Lent. You know, obviously everyone needs to assess what they have and what their areas of necessity are. You know, if you've got family and kids to care for, that's important. But to actually stop and say, well, what do we have that we don't need? If you go back to the early church, they were very strong on this, particularly some of the church fathers around the eastern part of the Roman Empire, people like St. Basil or St. Gregory of Nazianzen. They had very strong ideas about what we should give away. You know, St. Basil said that if you have a shirt in your cupboard that you don't wear, then that shirt has been stolen from the man who's naked. If you have food in your cupboard that is going off because you're not eating it, then that's food that's been stolen from the man who's hungry. They had a very strong idea of the communal nature of society and the communal responsibility that we need to give what we don't need. And so maybe during this time of Lent, if we really want to move, if we want to move out of this desert place where we're just stuck, we're not growing in our faith, we're not feeling challenged anymore, maybe almsgiving is one of those questions you need to ask. Look around your house, look around what you currently have, and then go outside and look around the rest of the world. Try to actually see, when was the last time you met someone who was in need? When was the last time you sat with someone who was hungry? Maybe you need to develop some new friends. Maybe you need to go beyond your little bubble and work out, where is the Spirit of God prompting you to not just give to charity, but to actually meet people, to be able to speak into their lives, to be able to hear their stories, allow your heart to be deeply moved, but then also to reassess the lifestyle you live. What do you have? What do you own? How are these things stopping you from truly reaching the promised land? How do you come to a place of really discovering the love and the beauty that God has promised you?